Everything is straight there, falling into my soul depth. I need more time and energy to process things. It's like a computer which needs more RAM. May has come with its Beltane energy. The green of the forest is popping up. Nature is in full bloom. And I am in the mood to shed light on something, which I usually hide. Because you can get rejected when you're different. I will talk about my high sensitivity. I went to an old castle here in Austria. A special place to find language about something I did not have words for. For a great part of my life, I was not conscious of my high sensitivity. I couldn't explain what happens inside me. I just experienced it. When you don't have words for something, this has tremendous implications on your self-image, your self-worth, your relationships and social life. People don't understand where you're coming from. I even denied myself. I disowned vital parts of my personality. I tried to be someone else, which exhausted me. Being highly sensitive means that I perceive the world in a different way than the average person. Impressions go straight in. They go straight into my soul space. I receive a vast amount of information, a holistic view on things, which can be a gift, but it also affects my interactions with people. I need more time and energy to process situations. I have less automated, socially adequate responses. For example, it's difficult for me to look people in the eyes while I'm talking. I often have to put on a mask, a facade, to appear normal, which again drains me. As a highly sensitive person, I need to set boundaries, to create my own castle, my own structure, which protects me from being overwhelmed and which supports me to be in the flow of life, to live my full potential. In this video, I will talk about how it is to be me. I will talk about my inner processes, my relationship with the world, and what I need to blossom. Maybe you are similar and find yourself through my story. For me, being highly sensitive predominantly means impressions go very deep into my soul space. They go straight in. I pick up the atmosphere and the context around every situation. This means I see people and I see things from inside out. I perceive the world in a more holistic way, and I receive much more information than the average person, I guess. Everything is straight there, falling into my soul depth. This means that I have to process more than the average person. I need more time and energy to process things. It's like a computer which needs more RAM. I need much more RAM, more working memory than the average person. For other people, a situation has the size of a Word document or an Excel sheet. And for me, the same situation has the size of a 4K video. So my brain, my nervous system, my whole system needs much more time and energy than the average person to process things. And it's not only difficult things, conflicts, or bad things. It's also good things. It's also things I enjoy. It's everything. I need more time to sleep. I need more time to process. I need more time to look inside. Just to be in this quiet, introspective place where my system can process everything by itself. And it does it by itself. I don't need to do anything actively. I just need more time and energy. Everything I experience goes straight in with a vast amount of information. This information I have to process and I have to digest. Being highly sensitive means you are neurodivergent. So that's the term, neurodivergent. It means that my high sensitivity, it doesn't come from trauma. I didn't have more difficult situations in my childhood than other people. It's my constitution. I'm born with it. It has implications on your relationships. For me, being in a social situation, being in a social setting, means different things than for other people. For example, the usual small talk, like I come somewhere, I go to my gym, for example, and I go there and there's a gym class and people are standing there in small groups, talking, chit-chatting and so on. For most people, or for the average person, it's nice. They like to go there and they say, oh, hello, how are you? How was your day? How are your children? What did you do yesterday? And oh yeah, the weather, and how's the weather today? And so on. And they enjoy this type of talk, and it's their way to interact with each other and to build up trust and to feel good with each other in this social situation. And for me, it's different. It drains me to go there and to have a normal conversation with people. When I go to a random, average social situation, what happens is I am socially and emotionally overstimulated. Yeah, my brain, my nervous system gets way too much relationship information. And at the same time, I'm intellectually understimulated. This is what happens. This social overstimulation, it's simple things like having to look people in the eye. My natural impulse is much less this looking in the eye thing. My natural impulse is much more looking inside. So, looking each other in the eyes, smiling, having a conversation, talking about everyday stuff, this drains me. It's exhausting for me. Controlling my body language, trying to appear normal. What happens is usually I am the one having to adapt. I am the one having to adapt to the conversations and the behavior of other people. This is exhausting and it's boring and it's meaningless at a certain point, but I do it because I want to be liked. I am 48 now, and for a long time I haven't been aware of my high sensitivity. I think it was in my 40s when I learned about that. And one reason was my self-image. Being highly sensitive didn't go in resonance with the self-image I had, the image I had about myself. You know, when I was a child, I liked to read Winnetou and Old Shatterhand, and I did sports, and I was used to endure. I like to see myself as a competent person, as an efficient person, as a capable person, as a successful person. And I didn't want to see myself as a highly sensitive person. Like, oh, I'm so sensitive, I cannot do this. No, this was never the way I acted. This was never part of my self-image. What happened was that my body told me, stop. My body and my nervous system said, stop. No, you don't continue like this. It started in my 20s. I realized that I need much more sleep than the average person. I needed much more time for myself to process things. When I tried to live a normal life like an average person does with a 9 to 5 job and, you know, relationships, friendships, going out, having a social life and so on. When I tried to do this, I was always tired. My body just shut down. It was so overwhelming for me, I couldn't do it. I couldn't think anymore. It was impossible. I got headaches, my eyes hurt, I had this pressure in my face. Yeah. My life quality plummeted. I didn't see a meaning anymore. So this was the point where I told myself, okay, you must change something in your life. And at this point, I didn't even know the word highly sensitive. I just knew I had to adapt my lifestyle to my constitution, because otherwise it didn't work. It just didn't work. My body said no. Boundaries and lifestyle. In order to live a good life, in order to not become sick, in order to live my full potential, I had to set boundaries. I had to change something. How do you know? Now I have to set boundaries. You feel your boundaries with your body. My body reacts. It's very instinctive. It's like either opening up, being energized, and being in this energetic, very open flow type of state, or closing down, losing energy, and it's like this movement. Feeling tight, feeling stressed, feeling tired is usually a sign to set boundaries. And if I don't set boundaries at this point, it may happen that I dissociate, drifting away and having this feeling that your head gets bigger and bigger and bigger like a balloon. And you have this feeling everything is not real, everything is like you're dizzy, you feel a bit sick, everything is like, becomes like this unreal type of thing. This is dissociation, and this is what happens when I don't set boundaries. And dissociation can also lead to an even deeper burnout, shutting down completely for days. When I set suitable boundaries for my type of constitution, then I feel good, and then I have energy, then I feel my life energy, and then I am happy, then I'm efficient, then I can work, then I can have relationships, then I can live a normal life. Boundaries can be time and rhythm. It's my daily rhythm, for example. It's how much sleep do I get? How much alone time do I get? How much time do I give myself to process things? My daily rhythm is slower than the rhythm of most people, in contrast to my thinking and in contrast to my receiving things. Receiving things is very fast and very deep and rich. And because I receive so fast and rich, I need more time to digest. And it can be all type of rhythms. It can be how long does a conversation last? It's draining for me to sit in meetings the whole day. I cannot have meetings with people every day or the whole day. I cannot do this. I can have a meeting or maybe 2 meetings a day, and then I need my space, my alone time or time with my partner. And the next day, I cannot have a meeting. And when I'm at a seminar with people, I cannot eat lunch every day, like 5 days a week, every day with those other people. I can have lunch with people one day, and then maybe the next day I need lunch just for myself, or only with one person where it's a very quiet flow of energy, a person I know and I feel well with. Yeah, so this is time and rhythm. Space and distance closeness. I need space for myself. And I mean physical space. I love to have enough space around me. I don't like crowded places. I don't like to go to concerts where people stand close to each other. It's like, I cannot do that. It's horrible. I hate it. I feel so bad. I don't like this. When I go to a restaurant, I don't like to sit in the middle of the room, surrounded by many people. I need to have my space. I need to control my space. And then from this point, I like to interact with people. I have to be able to say, no, you don't come in here in my space. So when I was younger, in my teenage years, it was very difficult for me to go with the bus or go with a train. Public transportation was horrible, horrible, because so many people, so much energy, so many different impressions and different people coming way too close to me. I hated that. And I had to learn, because sometimes you need to go by public transportation. I had to learn when I was in my teenage years, I had to learn to close off my energy, distance myself, and not to let in the energy of other people, because I'm so open, everything comes in right away, straight into my soul space, straight into my inner being. And I had to learn how to close off myself from the energy from other people. It starts with simple things like looking away. Don't look other people in the eyes. It starts with choosing my space. Simple things like this, but also on a mental and psychological level, to shut off my energy. And that's not so easy. That's not easy. I usually have a few very close relationships. I don't have big circles of friends, something like this. I'm not this type of person. I have a very close relationship with my partner. This I like, this I enjoy. This is according to my nature. But even in this relationship, I need time for myself, because I take in so much energy and emotions of my partner, that when I'm around him all the time, I lose myself. I start losing myself. I am an Enneagram type 9 also, which means I tend to merge with my partner on a deep bodily and psychological level. I tend to merge and enmesh myself with him. I lose my energy, and I also lose my sense of self. I become someone who is like this empty bowl, yeah, which takes in all the time the other person. I take in all the time, I take this other person in, and then I'm full of this other person, and I've lost myself. I've lost my sense of self, my sense of being. It's on a being level. So it goes very deep. And with my partner, I also have to set boundaries. And this is difficult for me because I have a dependent personality structure. Being my own person in my relationship, in my partnership, I had to learn over the years. It was so difficult for me in my first relationships. It was so difficult and I couldn't do it. It was almost impossible. So now I have to sit in a different way. My legs start to fall asleep. So, last topic is setting boundaries in group settings, in spiritual groups, in self-development groups, in alternative communities, in groups with ethical intent. Those groups are a bit different than normal groups and normal relationships. And there are different things you need to take care of if you are a highly sensitive person who takes in everything. In many of those groups, people are encouraged to be overly emotional, to open up, to show your emotions, to be very emotional and to talk about all your problems, and to dramatize and to create more drama and more emotion because you're connected to your heart and everything is heart opening and everything emotion and we love each other and so on and so on. These types of artificial emotional group dynamics, I cannot deal with that. I am allergic to that. As a highly sensitive person, you already feel the emotions. You already feel what's there. People don't have to tell you. People don't have to exaggerate. People don't have to dramatize. When people start to exaggerate their emotionality, it's so draining for me and it feels so cringe. It feels so bad. It feels so artificial. I really don't like it and I have to set boundaries. At the beginning, when I was younger, I wanted to be nice and I wanted to be part of the group, and then I took in all those emotions of all those people and I couldn't handle it. It was too much and also I didn't see any sense. And I also don't like it when people artificially create this collective emotional field. My sensitivity is allergic to that. When people start to form group dynamics, when they start to talk the same way, when they start to dress the same way, when they start to use similar words and the same language, only people in this group use some expressions. I don't like this. Yeah, in another video I will talk about how to protect your own group. If you are a group leader, like me, sometimes I lead my own retreats and women's circles. And if you are a group leader, You need to learn how to protect your group from toxic influences, all kinds of influences you don't want to have in your group, like manipulation, politics, trolls, and so on. So I come to the end of this video again, and at the end of the video I usually talk about the symbol of the video. And the symbol of this video is the castle, of course, yeah. The castle which protects you against outside influences. Another symbol which goes hand in hand to the castle is the tarot card, the Four Discs. The Four Discs are about structure. Yeah, you see it, it almost looks like a castle. And it's about boundaries. It's about your boundaries as an individual being. And it's about building structure. Because if you are aware of the structure of your own personality, then it's much easier for you to set boundaries and also to structure your life according to your needs. This is also about integrity. Integrity means living according to your inner being. Don't live a life which doesn't go in resonance with your inner being. And the Four Discs, it's connected with the element earth. So the discs in general are earth, symbolize earth. And earth is the most rigid element. It's not movable easily. And this means that inside myself, I'm not movable. Things can get in easily, but inside myself, I have this resilience. I have this deep-rooted resilience and stubbornness. I am how I am. So, thank you for listening.